Hey, good evening, everybody. This is Michael Workman with Resin Smart. This is Resin Market Moves. Today is Sunday, March 1st. We've certainly had a whirlwind past 72 hours in the geopolitical realm. Specifically, I want to focus on the plastics resin market here, North America. So if we think about it, roughly 16 million metric tons of polyethylene exports are now exposed to geopolitical risk. That's over a third of the globally traded polyethylene supply. Now, North America doesn't import from Iran, but the global market does, specifically China and Northern Asia. Let's dive in a little bit deeper. 37% of global traded polyethylene originates in the Middle East. 28% of traded polypropylene originates from the same place. And Iran alone exported over 3 million metric tons of polyethylene a couple of years ago. Now, with these escalated tensions, it introduces supply risk and continued risk to shipping lanes. As a reminder, 20% of the world's energy supply travels through the Sea of Hormuz, which is that narrow passage of waterway that borders Iran and is the outlet for a lot of the Saudi-produced material. And then we're going to see enhanced energy cost pressures. We have seen that increase over the last few weeks as the risk was priced into the market. Remember when we saw Russia invade Ukraine several years ago, oil spiked to $127 a barrel after settling down to $90 a barrel, hovered at those same numbers for a few months. And we could certainly see oil go over $80 a barrel as quickly as this week. This is a trade flow event. Now, what does that mean here for North America? The U.S. Gulf Coast, as we've mentioned ad nauseum, is structurally long in polyethylene. Now, if Middle Eastern exports tighten, the Asian and European markets, which typically pull resin from there, are going to tap in. They're going to have to tap into the U.S. export volume. When that happens, as we've seen it happen prior, it will pull and tighten domestic availability, which will improve producer leverage. Pricing can move before those physical shortages occurs. It's important to remember that the markets are going to price risk before they price disruption in the market. So what do we see in the next 30 to 60 days? Oil and gas will continue to be volatile. I'd be shocked if we didn't see the markets open with a substantial increase tomorrow. Polyethylene is exposed here in the near term. We were projecting a flat rollover for February. That may still change to up, but we're certainly going to see March increase letters with renewed emphasis here after the events of this weekend. Polypropylene's been following PGP and is thereby up as PGP settled up in the month of February. We're going to see some secondary exposure there with some of the risks that the Iran conflict are bringing to bear. March is going to be volatile. We should see exports start to tick up. That's exports from North America, specifically in polyethylene. And we're going to see producers start really pushing narratives now. It's important to remember to maintain your calm, avoid panic when negotiating, and short-term cost and shock potential. Long-term depends entirely on how long this lasts. Important, just a few things to do this week. If you buy polyethylene, review your polyethylene inventory. Know how many weeks of supply you have. Factor that into any orders you need to place. Monitor Gulf Coast export activity. There's a lot of ways you can do this. Government data, USITC is a good outlet. The Resin Smart team is a great resource for you there. Make sure you understand your contract mechanisms fully, index timing, when your price changes, and how long those agreements are in effect. You may need to be thinking about alternative supply sources, especially if pricing gets inflationary again, and avoid reactionary overbuying. That's just going to continue to push leverage towards the producer. It's important to stay disciplined and recall that discipline trumps emotion, especially when things get very volatile. I hope everybody has a great week out there. Keep your head down and continue to put one foot in front of the other and control what we can control out there. All right, everybody, travel safe. If you'd like to learn a little bit more about how Resin Smart can be of assistance to you, reach out this week. All right, take care, everybody.